Have you ever felt like you were doing everything right? The perfect diet, a consistent gym routine, and a relentless iron will, yet your body remains stubbornly frozen in place. It is as if your metabolism has fallen into a deep, unreachable slumber, and the results that come so easily to others remain a distant, frustrating dream for you. The culprit isn't your food or your lack of discipline. It is a silent poison sitting right in your pocket. I am talking about your smartphone and the neurochemical hijacking caused by a neurotransmitter called dopamine. This video is designed to change your life because we are about to expose a biological reality that the modern medical establishment is completely ignoring. Before we dive into the deep science, I am Dr. Mike, and you are watching Dr. Mike Longevity. On this channel, we don't just talk about basic fitness. We investigate the cutting-edge science of cellular aging and the protocols required to build a body that thrives well into its hundreds. If you are serious about transforming your biology and want to continue seeing these high-fidelity medical deep dives, make sure to subscribe to this channel right now and hit the bell icon. We provide the truth that the rest of the world is too afraid to discuss. Today's topic is the dopamine detox and its hidden, lethal relationship with your metabolic rate. We often view dopamine simply as a pleasure chemical, but in reality, it is your body's master controller. My professional opinion and perspective, my opinion, is that modern humanity is suffering from a digital famine, a state where we are starved of real nutrition because we are addicted to fake, synthetic rewards. What is your take on this? Do you feel like your phone is draining your mental and physical energy? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I personally read every single comment you post. If you have a complaint, a specific question, or a health struggle you want me to address, let me know. I use your feedback and your comments as the primary compass to research and film my next videos. Now, let us descend into the biological war currently being waged inside your brain. To understand why your phone is making you fat and tired, we must look at the metabolic cost of constant stimulation. When you wake up and immediately reach for your phone, you are subjecting your brain to a dopamine spike that is evolutionarily unprecedented. In nature, dopamine was designed to reward high-effort survival activities, finding food, securing shelter, or reproduction. Today, you get that same reward by simply scrolling through a feed. This creates a state of neural inflation. When your brain is flooded with cheap dopamine, your receptors begin to downregulate. They essentially close their doors to protect themselves from overstimulation. This leads to a state of chronic, low-level depression and lethality, but more importantly, it triggers a catastrophic shift in your metabolism. My professional observation, my opinion, is that when the brain's reward system is exhausted, it sends a signal to the rest of the body to conserve energy. This is a survival mechanism. If the brain perceives that it is getting rewards without physical effort, it assumes you are in a state of abundance and immediately switches your metabolism into fat storage mode. This is the dopamine metabolism bridge that most doctors fail to mention. Your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, begin to slow down because the signaling from your exhausted brain tells them that physical vitality is no longer required for survival. You become tired but wired. This isn't just a theory. It is a clinical reality of the 21st century. I want to know if you've noticed this brain fog after long periods of screen time. Does your body feel heavier or less energetic after a day of digital consumption? Your feedback is vital, so please drop your experience in the comments. As I mentioned, I read everything you write and use your real-world struggles to ensure my medical explanations remain grounded in reality. If you find this level of detail helpful, remember that your engagement helps us bring this longevity research to a global audience. We are not just talking about habits, we are talking about the biological sovereignty of your own cells. The connection between your digital habits and your waistline goes much deeper than just sitting down too much. There is a terrifying synergy between the neurochemistry of reward and the biology of energy storage. When you experience a massive dopamine surge from high-velocity digital content, your body enters a state of heightened physiological arousal. This isn't just a mental state, it is a systemic event. High dopamine levels, especially when they are synthetic and constant, can actually interfere with your body's sensitivity to insulin. In my professional view, my opinion, the modern epidemic of insulin resistance is being fueled by digital overload. When your brain is overstimulated, it signals the pancreas to remain in a state of high alert. This causes a subtle but persistent rise in baseline insulin levels, even if you haven't eaten a single gram of sugar. This is the metabolic trap of the 21st century. High insulin is the ultimate signal for your body to stop burning fat and start storing it. By allowing your phone to hijack your dopamine, you are essentially telling your body to lock away your energy reserves. This is why you can eat a clean diet and still feel bloated and heavy. Your cells are essentially deaf to the signals of fat metabolism because the noise from your dopamine receptors is too loud. Have you ever noticed that after a long day of stressful digital work, you crave sugar even more? This is because your dopamine-depleted brain is searching for a secondary hit to stay awake, leading to a vicious cycle of metabolic destruction. I want to hear from you. Do you find it harder to stick to your diet when you are spending more time on your phone? Tell me your story in the comments below. I read all of them to understand how these biological traps are affecting your daily life, and I use your feedback to refine my medical protocols for future videos. If you are finding this connection eye-opening, ensure you stay tuned, as we are about to break down the emergency protocol to reverse this damage. We cannot talk about dopamine without discussing its aggressive twin, cortisol. Every time you check a notification that causes a slight spike in anxiety, an urgent email, a negative comment, or a shocking news headline, your body releases a pulse of cortisol. In the context of longevity, cortisol is a double-edged sword. While it is necessary for survival, chronic elevation is a biological weapon against your own health. When cortisol remains high due to digital friction, it actively breaks down muscle tissue to provide the body with a quick source of glucose. This is the mechanism behind skinny fat syndrome. You are losing the very muscle that keeps your metabolism high and replacing it with inflammatory visceral fat around your organs. In my medical perspective, my opinion, this is the primary reason why many people look older than they actually are. Chronic cortisol elevation accelerates cellular aging by shortening your telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA. By constantly reacting to your phone, you are literally aging your body at an accelerated rate. This isn't just about weight, it's about your biological age versus your chronological age. At Dr. Mike Longevity, our goal is to keep you young at a cellular level, and that starts with controlling these hormonal cascades. If you feel like your stress belly is a result of your digital life, you are not alone. Is your job or your social media use causing you physical tension that you can't seem to shake off? Please let me know in the comments. I value your input immensely because your real-world experiences help me build more effective longevity blueprints. Remember, if you want to keep receiving these deep dives into how to protect your DNA and your metabolism, make sure you are subscribed and that you've turned on all notifications. Now that we have identified the enemy, we must discuss the counterstrike. The dopamine detox is not just a trend, it is a clinical intervention for your metabolism. By intentionally depriving your brain of cheap dopamine for a set period, you allow your neural receptors to reset. This reset has an immediate and profound effect on your metabolic health. As your brain stops demanding constant stimulation, your baseline cortisol levels begin to drop, and your insulin sensitivity starts to recover. This is when the fat-burning switch finally flips back to the on position. You will find that your energy becomes more stable, your brain fog clears, and for the first time in years, your body begins to respond to exercise and healthy food again. My recommendation, my opinion, is a strict digital fasting protocol. No screens for the first 2 hours of the day, and a total digital blackout 90 minutes before bed. This simple shift protects your circadian rhythms and prevents the morning dopamine spike that ruins your metabolism for the rest of the day. We are talking about reclaiming your biological sovereignty. You should be the master of your hormones, not your apps. I want to challenge you to try this for just 48 hours and report back. What is the biggest obstacle you face when trying to put your phone away? Is it work, boredom, or a genuine feeling of addiction? Write it in the comments. I am committed to reading your responses and using them to create a follow-up video on digital longevity protocols. Your engagement is what keeps this channel going and allows us to produce this high-level content for the international market. We are a community of researchers and truth seekers, and your voice is the most important part of that equation. Once you initiate the dopamine reset, your body enters what I call the cellular repair phase. This is the moment where longevity science truly comes alive. When your brain is no longer screaming for constant stimulation, your body's internal resources are redirected from stress response to deep maintenance. This is closely tied to the process of autophagy, where your cells begin to clean out damaged components and misfolded proteins that have accumulated during years of digital and metabolic stress. In my professional perspective, my opinion, this is the closest thing we have to a fountain of youth. By lowering the neurochemical noise, you are essentially giving your mitochondria the permission they need to optimize ATP production once again. You aren't just losing fat, you are literally upgrading your cellular hardware. This phase is where the magic happens for your skin, your cognitive clarity, and your overall vitality. Without the constant drain of cheap dopamine, your growth hormone levels, the primary drivers of tissue repair and fat oxidation, can finally reach their peak during deep sleep. We are talking about a total systemic overhaul. This is why a dopamine detox is the ultimate longevity tool. It fixes the brain-body connection that allows everything else to work. I want to know, have you ever experienced a natural high after spending a few days in nature without your phone? That feeling of clarity is your cells finally breathing again. Share those experiences in the comments below. I read every single story, and I often use your personal breakthroughs as case studies for my research. If you have any specific complaints about brain fog or chronic fatigue, let me know. Your feedback helps me tailor these deep dives to solve your most pressing health issues. If you're ready to reclaim your cellular energy, make sure you are still subscribed and engaging with our content. As we wrap up this clinical breakdown, it is time for the final verdict. We live in an age where your attention is the most valuable commodity, but it is also the most dangerous weapon against your health. Your metabolism is not a broken machine. It is a highly sensitive instrument that is currently being mismanaged by an environment of digital overstimulation. The dopamine trap is real, but now that you understand the biological mechanisms behind it, you have the power to dismantle it. My final takeaway, my opinion, is that longevity is not found in a pill or a single superfood. It is found in the gaps, the quiet moments where you allow your biology to exist without a screen. Reclaiming your focus is the first step toward reclaiming your life and your 2026 health goals. This is your roadmap. Start with a 48-hour digital fast. Prioritize morning sunlight over morning scrolling, and listen to the signals your body is sending you. You are part of an elite community here at Dr. Mike Longevity, and we are committed to providing you with the high-fidelity truths that empower you to live longer and stronger. What is the one digital habit you are going to delete today? Tell me in the comments. I am waiting to hear your commitments, and I will be responding to as many of you as possible. If you found this 7-paragraph deep dive valuable, please share it with someone who is struggling with their health. Together, we can change the narrative of modern medicine. I am Dr. Mike, and I will see you in the next video, where we will continue to decode the secrets of human longevity. Thank you for being part of this journey, and I'll be looking for your comments.